Bounce it up.
All
Play
right,
the
here we
music.
go. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, the show that brings you the latest and greatest and odd and crazy news from all over the planet. We are fresh back from Dragon Con. Maybe we're not fresh. Maybe we smell like nerds. 80,000 people clustered into a space together for a weekend. Maybe we smell like someone else's feet. Maybe we smell like someone else's butts. Maybe we did get a chance to take a shower and we actually do smell fresh. I feel better, don't you, Smash?
I showered. I showered multiple times. I showered in hot water, and then I used the scrubby thing that Stephanie got me that removes your skin.
Oh yeah, the good I just washed with a very hard rock, so I could get all the flesh off. I took a shower like twice a day for at least 2 days just because I felt funk and I needed the funk to go.
Yes. Oh my God, it made it so small. Why'd you do that for?
Oh, it was terrible. I just knocked over my water. That was so scary.
This is why you have the massive juggening with the liddening.
Oh yeah, but if you drop that and it falls on your foot, then you're dead.
Shit hurts. Like that legitimately is uncomfortable, and it happens not infrequently.
Oh, I know. And you've got like those alien toes, so your toes.
Your mom has alien toes. Hi, Lucretia.
I love you. Okay, so let's see. Who are we bringing in first? So we were talking to Rock God. I hope he's ready because we wanted so tonight on the show we're going to do a quick Dragon Con recap, and we invited some friends that we met from the Dragon Con, so we could have a nice conversation with them about their experiences. And first up is none other than the rock god of podcasting himself, Charles McFall, director of the podcasting track. So I'm going to drag him
Digital media track.
Digital media track. Gosh, I fixed it all day. Hey, Charles McFall, are you there?
No, I am not. I'm here.
Oh, good. Well, that's better than being there for sure.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, Steven. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just consistently saying the name of the track incorrectly, even though I told myself all day I would do it right. But, you got the McElroy thing. I got the podcasting track thing. So we can call it even, right?
Yeah, no, you're trying to steal my brand of I mispronounce everything. It's good to hear that Smooshy is on tonight.
Oh yeah, she's always here. She's always here.
So I have to tell you something. When we first signed up for the Discord and I saw someone's name was Rock God of Podcasting, I'm just like, oh my God. Like I told Steven, I'm like, could this dude be any more full of himself? Like I am not going to be able to stand this a-hole. And then I met you and I'm like, I made a mistake. I judged someone and I was wrong.
No, not really. You're fairly on point. It's fine.
So, dude, I want to hear a little bit about your Dragon Con experience. Obviously, it's very different from your average Joe because you're busy and running around about 26 hours a day. How does all that come together for you?
Show up Thursday afternoon, you blink, and it's Monday afternoon. You're going home. that's about. It's a year-long process, man. It's. Oh, dude, we've already started working on next year's stuff, and there's official conversations being had with different higher-ups in Dragon Con to see how we can do things different and make things better. Putting on a great show, but I won't be happy till about a month from now when I finally have gotten some sleep and go, man, that was really fantastic. I'm actually still working on last year's show, finishing things up, and last week was last year. That's how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't they already started selling tickets?
Oh, yeah. They started instantly selling next year's tickets.
Yeah. So you can go ahead. By the way, if you're interested in going to Dragon Con and seeing all these fine people, you can pay your $85 now or you're like $170 later. So get on that.
Spend your money wisely.
For sure. Spend your hard-earned money.
is fantastic ventriloquism because of how the delay works. Is when I hear her talk, she's actually drinking out of her water jug, which is quite phenomenal.
That jug
Great
of
trick.
water is
Yeah.
life. Like it is life. It is huge. It is a weapon and it makes me hydrated.
Yeah, I did not hydrate nearly enough during the con.
Dude, you
Uh,
guys ran out of water like day one, right? And then by the time I
yeah.
saw the message, it looked like it had already been delivered.
Yeah, no, that was great. The community was fantastic in the Discord. It got really hot in our room Friday. The loading bay doors are directly across the hall from us. And if you don't know what those are, they're huge metal doors that big trucks back up to. And they apparently have been opening and closing them all day, or maybe just leaving them open. I don't know. And it just was cooking the halls that we were in. And yeah, we burned through all of our water in front on Friday. We had 2 or 3 cases. And I just went to our Discord, the DragonCon Digital Media Discord, and said, "Hey, awesome people! If you got just like 4 waters, you can bring anything you do can help." And everybody's so amazing that by Friday night, I think we had enough water. And they closed the doors, they fixed it. So by Friday night, we were able to carry on through Monday with plenty of water. It was awesome.
Nice, nice. That's one thing that I did notice is the digital media track community was just amazingly supportive of each other and everything that was going on. So like between you and Joe planning the Discord and making that happen and everybody just being super cool, like it really did feel like a family down there.
The Discord was fantastic because you got to know people before, even if you misjudged them, before you actually got to meet the people. So that was, you guys keeping that up was fantastic.
Well, that's the community. That's really something I just tap into. I can't really take credit for it. It's awesome people like Steven who comes out and your producer. People like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just a really great event for sure. And this was how many times you were going to Dragon Con before you became director of the digital media track, right?
Yeah. But before we go on,
Yeah.
if you don't call me out for ignoring Smashy, then it just sounds like I'm an egotistical chauvinist. You don't play into the bit, then it doesn't work.
I didn't know it was a bit. You don't
So
understand how
thank you for
naive I
that.
am, Charles. You don't
It's
you
like,
don't
oh
know.
crap! I have to go back and correct that. Otherwise, they're like, "Man, that dude is an asshole." What the hell?
No, you
No. So yeah, I think this is year 6 for me,
Oh wow.
on give or take. I mean, there's so many people have been doing it so much longer. But yeah, I've been the director for officially for the last 2 years. I call it my shadow year 3 years ago, where Brian Dunaway was still the director, but he had me doing everything as a director to get used to what that looked like and how it felt and how it worked. So
Nice. Yeah, Brian Dunaway's a good man. I've been following him for years from the morning stream and on. And saw him a couple years ago and was disappointed he wasn't there this year because that dude's pretty awesome. But it's hey, he obviously left the digital media track in very capable hands because it was running without a hitch this year. Like it was what you guys did technically was really impressive, and thanks to Scott Moore as well, who's going to be on the show in a little bit to talk to him. Like it was really well done, and it felt like a real well polished track. I super enjoyed it.
well, thank you. It takes takes a lot of work to make it look like magic, and that is definitely what I go for. A little background. I come up through doing live events and seeing what it's like to put on rock concerts and huge corporate shows. Like I'm talking about. Like when Budweiser comes in with their sales team and yay, everybody raised $1 million in sales, blah blah. I just worked as a tech behind the scenes in those, so I got to see after attending so many rock shows, going, oh, this thing starts off as nothing, and it takes a lot of work to make it magic, and it's magical for all the attendees, and then we get to tear it down, and I'm trying to bring some of that to the con. So thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. We actually achieved some of that, and you're right, Scott Moore. I mean, you say you watch with the Rock. He's my Rock, so I don't think you do watching with him, but I do appreciate. I mean, he's the man, and yeah, he can never go away. That's the way that works.
You guys did make that look like magic because, like I said, I don't understand that, like the technical aspects of anything. I literally sit down and talk, and I walked in. There's just like wires everywhere, and there's cameras, and there's all these like buttons that I wasn't allowed to press, even though I asked multiple times. It's really
Yeah,
sad.
how are you a podcaster? You tell me you don't tech.
Steven and Jacob.
We years ago, I was the nerd getting into podcasting. I wanted to do a show, and Ashley was just kind of she was someone I wanted to do a show with, but I
There.
was I was told by multiple people, Ashley's not going to stick that with you. Like, there's no way you do this show more than 10 episodes, and they can shove it up their butts because here we are, 480 episodes later, doing this thing still. So
I think
yeah,
my sister was one of the people that told you that I probably wouldn't stick.
she was a naysayer. But
So what's been longer, your marriage smashy or the episode run?
So Steven's actually married to my sister.
yeah,
So they got married when 2010?
2010, and we've been doing this show since '07.
2007, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So she
Steven,
knew.
Steven's essentially my brother. We've known each other since high school. So
Yeah, my wife knew what she was getting into with all this crazy. I'm going to need an hour at least once a week to talk on a microphone. She's very supportive. She's wonderful.
Oh.
She was there with us.
So I have a question because I don't want you to get off before we talk about the tables.
This is definitely not a family-friendly show now.
I know, I was like, he's gonna make a comment because he's him, but I'm just gonna smooth on it so I look like the better person.
Uh, what about the tables? Would you like to
Your tables, you brought in those tables, and I thought they were fantastic for like like the podcasting when people would come in and do a podcast where they're talking to each other because you're kind of angled toward each other. And Steven and I wanted to steal them because instead of being side by side, you're kind of turned toward each other, but you still see the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So do you just have 3 matching tables chilling in your house?
Yes, actually. So I worked with this crew. It was called Church in the Now then. It was a big mega church in Conyers. I was doing audio, video tech, and all kind of stuff, and live broadcasts. And when they decided to take a step back and go in a much better direction than what they were going in my opinion, a whole lot of stuff. And as part of the crew, if it wasn't something they needed to sell, like this beautiful, I just get tingling thinking about this beautiful channel board with the snake and all this monitor programming and yeah, they had to sell that because they're trying to recoup some money and that's fine. But they're like, hey, if we're not selling it, go and tag what you want. And they had this coffee lounge that had about 6 of those tables in it, and I was able to claim 3 of them for myself.
Nice.
Yeah, and one usually, and I don't have a camera tonight, but one usually sits right behind me. It hasn't been put back up since the con. The other 2 just stay taken apart because they're really great. They're fairly easy to put back together. They're really great to take upstairs when we have family functions and whatnot, and then you supposed to put out.
Well, they really added a lot to the panel.
They were
size.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were fun. They were different than the we're sitting behind a table and there's our peons in front of us who have to listen to us speak. It was like it was way more intimate, to use an overused
Especially if
word.
you were wearing a skirt.
Yeah, you have to be careful on the skirt anyway. I mean, for all the people saying, and you have to be concerned with people wearing skirts and these things. One, you're on a stool, so your legs are naturally angled down, so you're welcome. And 2, it's like for everybody who said you had to be careful about it, the other people said, I've been at tables looking out to the audience. There's plenty of ladies who aren't careful, and some dudes who aren't careful, and we get to see all. But it is what it is, and they probably won't come back next year, just because logistically it was difficult to get them in, and some people didn't like sitting on the stools because it was hard on their back. Or I can't remember if it was you, Steven, but somebody's like, "Yeah, the rock guy's just making you work on your core. He's just looking out for your health."
I think that was
said that!
Smash.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You said that. See, now you really stepped into my branding. I do that all the time. On Sunday, I wore a shirt that's the meme of the two little stick figures, and one guy goes, "I made this," and the other one takes it. He looks at it, and then the bottom part of it goes, "I made this." Except it's not so much I take credit as I usually give credit to the wrong person. And so there you go. You got a traditional rock and a podcasting moment there.
That's awesome. No, this has been fantastic, sir. I appreciate you coming on the show to talk a little bit about your experience. We'd love to have you on longer, or maybe later on another show that
Creator
we
Crush.
do. It's on hiatus, but it's called Creator Crush, where we interview people, in the longer form about people who make stuff. So maybe we can have you on in a longer form later on. But I guess we'll let you.
McFly really wants to know your favorite part of the con right quick.
Oh yeah, he's dying. What was your favorite
Uh,
part?
well, before that, I've checked my calendar and I'm busy, so can't be on credit. I'm sorry. No, honestly, my favorite part. There's so many good parts. Well, a guest you're gonna have on in a minute. Run, jump, stomp, Bill. Finally meeting him in real life and getting to hang out with him was phenomenal. And another person, of course, Scott Moore. I said he was the rock that I can lean on and not overwork myself to death this year. But as far as content wise, I took this chance on a panel called Blurs Unite, and it was done by somebody I just met, and I loved the concept, and I paired them up with some people that I knew would really bolster up that panel. And for people who don't know, Blurs is a very common term for black nerds, especially in the South. It's a uh, um, I can't even think of the term, but it's a common phrase that we use around here, and so I loved it. And sure enough, it filled the room. And as I'm standing on to the side of the room to handle the catch box for everybody on the panel, this guy comes in with a video camera and a really nice professional one. And I leaned over and was like, "Yeah, you can sit down over there." He goes, "I'll only be here for a few minutes. We'll take a few shots and we'll leave." I'm like, "Cool, whatever you need, man. I'm all for promoting everything." And I looked at his tag. And his tag says BET on it, and which is the Black Entertainment Television Network. And him and his reporter stayed the entire time. Afterwards, they came up and got all the panelists to sign waivers, and then they talked to us about doing some official panels next year
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Oh, that's
until this
great.
moment.
Yeah.
And all I can do is say I just made an opportunity. Somebody stepped in and filled it, and now hopefully all three of the panelists will get more opportunities, do maybe more TV work or something else, and nothing else. It'll help promote the track, and it's really cool. It's really
That's
cool.
cool. Rock
Yeah,
God of
that's super
Podcasting,
cool.
opening doors for people. That is really great. Hey, Charles, where can people find your stuff if they're looking for you?
Well, I'm purchasing horseshoesandhandgrenades.com. Just so you know. No, real quick, I will tell that. But I want to know what is. I haven't had a chance to look it up. Obviously, I know your show. I've listened to a little bit. I've subscribed. But what is Two Dorks and Legion of Dorks? What is
So
that?
this was a great idea. It's become confusing, but we had Horseshoes and Hand Grenades for a long time, and we wanted to do more stuff. We wanted to branch out and do Dungeons and Dragons podcasts and stuff. So we wanted to kind of put it all under an umbrella. So my wife just called us Two Dorks once, me and Smash. So we
Sure.
took that as a banner, and then the Legion is our group of people that hang out in our Discord and follow and stuff. We always say welcome to the Legion of Dorks, where you can be part of this goofy community of weirdos. So that's where all that branding goes in, and I don't know how to fix it because this is certainly the flagship show. But that's anyway. It's a weird story, but hopefully I can untangle that web for people
Do
and
you
make
have a
it
number
easier.
of other shows on the network? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, they're all us. It's not like other people, but we
Uh,
were doing at least
oh,
two
you're one
more.
of those networks. Okay,
Yeah, we're one of
I
those that's
gotcha.
just us all the time. But it's not really a network. It's just a bunch of stuff we make, and we wanted to put it in one place.
That's cool though. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, you can find me at gstu.net is where all my network shows are. CharlesMcFault.com. Links to that and other things I do outside the network. And real quick, September 16th, are you either one of you fans of Borderlands and excited about Borderlands 3 coming out?
I suck at Borderlands.
Yeah, I'm a bad at first person shooters. I've tried multiple times to play Borderlands. I cannot get into it, but it's coming.
Well, if you want to watch me die a whole lot and Philip Keating, September 16th at 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. on twitch.tv/GSTU Media. We'll do an all-day marathon of Borderlands 3 because it comes out next weekend. And we both have off on Monday, so it's going to go from about 9:30 a.m. to midnight. We're just going to be playing the crap out of that game. So
That's
it'll be
beautiful. I would love
Nice.
to see you die multiple times.
Oh, then yeah. And if we make it a drinking game, then you will get alcohol poisoning because it happens
Sweet.
quite a
Well,
bit.
I'll try to tune in because I'm going to be working, but I can throw Twitch up for sure, so I can watch what you got going on. That's great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on. You for everybody who wasn't at Dragon Con, they did a phenomenal live show. Zepho, that
Zafo.
Zafo, yeah.
Zappy Ho says that you guys usually do like an hour and a half to 2 hours. You can get a nice tight hour. It's engaging with the crowd. The room was packed. Everybody stayed. It was amazing. You guys did a phenomenal job.
Thanks,
And,
Charles.
Thank you. We
I
had a
appreciate you saying that.
blast.
Yeah, we had such a good time. So thanks for opening yet another door for these two goobers to come into Dragon Con. It was awesome.
You're welcome. I know you got some cool people to get to, and I
Yep.
can get on to some other stuff. But thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
No, we
really
appreciate it, man.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming
swinging
on,
in.
Garlics.
Bye. I love I can fade him out with him
The
laughing
cackle. Yeah, that was
hilariously.
awesome.
The cackle.
I finally figured out like how to. I needed to mute him in the Discord because I could hear him twice, and I'm like, two Charleses is one too many.
That's
like
so
multi
weird.
Charles.
It shouldn't have done that. Also, like he was coming in quiet, so I had to ramp up the volume for him. But when you laughed or said anything, it was huge loud. So if you're listening on the podcast, I hope that I have fixed this by the time you've downloaded it. But we're gonna, you know what? Let's just keep on rolling. Let's get Run Jump
Ashley
Stomp
is
in here.
loud. Shocker.
Because Bill from Run Jump Stomp has an evening as well, and then we'll get Lisa. Hang tight, everybody. We're doing what we can. Welcome to Podcast Where People Talk. Hey,
Hello.
Bill, are you there?
I am here. You can't get rid of me.
No, never. We wouldn't want to. So everybody, this is Bill of Run Jump Stomp, Nintendo Switchcraft, and Stadia Cast joining us on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades to talk about his first Dragon Con, right, Bill?
It was my first. Honestly, it was like I went to a single Comic-Con in Canada once, and it was really small. And then I went to one in Syracuse, the Salt City Comic-Con, and that was anemically small. Like it was the tiniest thing that you've ever seen. So then my real first con, I have to say, is Dragon Con, and it was overwhelming in so many amazing ways.
Did you sleep?
So the first night, so the first night that I was there, I could not sleep the night before because I was too worried that I was going to miss my flight. So I didn't sleep at all the night before, and so by the end of the first night, I ended up walking around with Tony P. Henderson. We went to go see, oh God, what is the Steam Powered Giraffe? We went to go see Steam Powered Giraffe, and then he took me to a friggin' puppet show, which was the weirdest damn stuff
I
I've
should have
ever
followed
seen.
you guys.
You should have followed us. We had a blast. And then by the time I got back to the room, it was 1:30 in the morning, and I had been up for 36 hours.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah. And then of course, you know, we're in a house with a bunch of other people. I'm sleeping on the floor and on a cot on the floor, but there is a cacophony of various people snoring. So like I still was able to sleep through all of that noise, but it was like I could almost conduct an orchestra. That one's gonna go, and then that one's gonna go. Like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day when he's been doing it for long enough, where he was able to predict everything that's gonna happen. That was the snoring that night, but it was okay because we all snore when we're that tired, and I just had a wonderful experience.
That's so great. I actually brought a box of Breathe Right strips just in fear that someone would snore, and no one used them. I've even got them home. Like, Stephanie, use a Breathe Right strip or Breathe Right strip. She's like, no, I'm not using that. I put it on,
Are
and
you
I'm like,
calling out your wife
oh
on
Yes.
the internet?
oh, she's
Yes.
she's fine. It's fine. Everybody snores. We all snore.
Stephanie and Jacob
Yeah.
had this little like you were saying, just kind of but it was a rise and a fall, a rise and a fall. I'm like, you know what? It's steady. It's fine. Like it's not like a weird spike that'll shake you awake. It was just, I think ours was more the bed situation because they were real
rough.
small.
Yeah, they were. It said two queens, but there's no
No.
way. There's no way those were queen
Those were
beds.
like the extra large twins you get in college.
yeah.
Maybe it was two queens slept here once.
Well, it is Dragon Con, so that actually
Thank you. I was hoping you would pick that up.
yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
There was glitter in my bed.
There you go.
I am curious. Did the Airbnb like? I'm considering that might be a good thing to have during Dragon Con weekend next time. Do you feel like the cost was effective enough considering you had to Uber in every day, or would you have rather been at a hotel?
The Uber was well, okay. I would have loved to have been in a hotel, so I wouldn't have had to Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, the Uber cost really was not that bad. It was about from the airport to the Airbnb was like $20, and I was like, "Oh, that's painful."
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
each time that I went in was somewhere between $6 and $9, and I had other people with me most of the time. So like I would get it one way, and Tony would get it another way, and somebody else would get it the another time back. So at the end of the day, it really wasn't that bad. If I continued to do that over a long period of time, I would say yikes.
Yeah.
But just for a weekend, it was okay.
Yeah, and that still ends up being half the cost of parking at a hotel.
Oh my god. They're just like, "Oh, you're here? You're
Yeah.
not leaving.
Here's
Yeah.
Give us your money."
$42 a night was parking at our hotel.
Ah.
But Jacob and I had moved the truck to a MARTA station like north of Atlanta, and it was $8 a day, and that worked out pretty well. But
That's
We
pretty
could
good
have
fun.
Ubered, apparently.
yeah, we could have.
Yeah,
So
you could have Ubered.
yeah, we could have. Next time I'm flying, like screw this driving thing. Like I'm gonna pack everything
Oh.
into the tightest space bag you can ever find, and
She said.
I'm just gonna come down. So you were on a bunch of panels, Bill. You were spread across a few tracks, right?
I was on two different tracks. I was on the digital media track. I got it right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're
And
better
I
than
was
Yay,
on the
points.
gaming track.
Who's the professional here? Definitely
That's
Bill.
right.
Not me. So the gaming track. That's awesome. So this was your first. Have you been like in talks for what you do as far as gaming news and stuff before, or was this your first invite to a place to do this?
This was the first time I was floored that anybody would invite me to go do anything like this anyway. But
Aw.
Charles reached out and said, "Bill, you're a professional and I want you on this thing." And I was like, well, whatever, man, you're smoking something, but I'm going to take advantage and go. And man, it was just so much fun because these are my people. These are my kind of nerds. In fact, by the way, I'm working on a podcast called that. You can't steal it, people.
Not.
My kind of nerd.
I'm looking forward to it though.
I like that. That's awesome. TM.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Bill's show now. Everybody, back off of
that's
it.
right. I'm
Yeah.
sure there's already 12 of them.
It's okay. There's another Horseshoes and Hand Grenades with like 40 episodes, and we don't, we haven't stomped on them yet. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any confusing the two, like me and Ashley on the album cover versus their album cover. I think we're good. People might be really surprised really fast if they confuse either one of us. So we're in a good space.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So that was a bunch of fun. Was there anything else at Dragon Con that really like blew your mind? I know you were surprised by Todd Cochran and by the way, Bill's show Switchcraft is in the Podcast Awards as a nominee. But I want you to tell the people what you learned about nominees because I know you're super excited about it.
Oh yeah, man, that was really weird. So I'm standing there at I don't know when the hell it was. It was some panel, and Todd walks in, and he walks over, and I was like, "Oh, hey, Todd," and we start talking a little bit, and I hand him my card, and he looks at it, and he goes, "Oh, I know this show for some reason?" I was like, "Well, I'm a nominee on the Podcast Awards." And he's like, "Oh," and then we started talking about the Podcast Awards a little bit, and he goes, the lowest number of nominations that a show got in order to get on the list is 1,000." And I was like,
Whoa.
really? Because that doesn't add up for me. That's insane that 1,000, because typically whenever you have an audience, only about 5% of them will actually interact in any way, let alone take 5 minutes of their time to go out and nominate your show. So for at least 1,000 people to do that, that just blew my mind. And I kind of was a little melted. My brain was a little bit melted for a good couple of hours just kind of considering that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if somebody told me there were 1,000 people listening to this show, I'd say you're full of lies. You're just trying to hurt my feelings. There's no
That's
way. Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah.
that's super great, and I'm going to vote for your show for sure because Switchcraft is fantastic. I recently actually started listening. I think when Charles introduced you to the Digital Media Track Discord, I was like, I've
Mhm.
heard this voice before, and it was because of America's Next Top Podcaster. And then I was like, oh, this is the same guy. I'm gonna listen to his show, and it's like it continually comes out and it's always got good info. And I know you're super excited to talk about all the stuff that happened at Nintendo Direct. And I don't know, have you released that episode yet or is it coming?
I haven't. I have. So get that. This has been the most insane week of my life, I think. So of course, I just got back from Dragon Con, right? And I got back from Dragon Con. I walked into the house. I sat down and just kind of I don't know, decompressed for an hour. And then
Needful.
yeah, for about an hour. And then I was like, all right, I got to record an episode of Switchcraft. So I turned on the stream and started recording. I recorded the episode, Monday's episode, the day I got back. And I recorded that and put it out. And then, of course, like on that episode, I said, I think Nintendo is going to do a Nintendo Direct next week. It's not going to happen this week. So then I post the episode, and literally like 3 hours later, they're like, "And there's a Nintendo Direct." And I was like, "Damn it!" Uh, and this
Whoops.
is I'm a school teacher, so this is my first. Like, I'm going back to school. Like today was my first day back at school, right? So I've got Wednesday, I'm working, and I have an open house for my sixth grade students. Or no, Tuesday was open house for my sixth grade students. Wednesday was open house for my ninth grade students. So I'm out to work all night long,
Yeah.
pretty much both nights, right?
Boy.
And Nintendo does their Nintendo Direct, and I was like, okay, well, I could record an episode like at 9 o'clock at night, but I'm just gonna sit on it until Friday, and so I'm gonna record that episode on Friday. But then today, for Stadia Cast, I ended up sitting down with John Justice, VP of Google Stadia, like the act like a dude that works at Google listens to Stadia Cast, and they reached out and they said, can we be on your show? And I was like, are you kidding me? Of course you can be on my show. So I had to record that, and then my co-host and I had to record a thing after, and I stitched it all together, and it's rendering on my computer right now. But oh my god, what an insane week this has been, and I still have to do 2 episodes of Switchcraft.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh. That's amazing. Well, Bill, hey Bill, what was your favorite part of Dragon Con? What are you taking away from it?
Just all of the awesome people that I got to meet. Like I got to meet both of you guys. We went out to lunch and we sat in that fish bowl and ate food, and then
That was
uh
fun.
it was. And then Steven and I got together and hung out with, we sat down and had a cool conversation with some people who've been in the business for a very long time, and all of the guys from GSTU, and Tony taking me around and showing me the ropes of Dragon Con. I just had so much fun, and I'm so irritated that I can't I don't think I'll be able to go next year because of when it is. It's the 3rd to the 7th, and I'm 99% sure that I'm going to be teaching at that time, so I won't be able to go.
Well,
Oh.
you know what? We've skipped years before, and it didn't end us. So even if you can't go, Bill, we'll be there in spirit. I'll take lots of pictures for you. But I'm holding out hope that you can still come despite the school year.
I mean, they'll understand. Your kids will get it. They'll be like, dude, he's famous. He has to go be famous. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. But man, so let everybody know where they can find you out there in the internets.
Well, I am on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Run Jump Stomp. And if you want to find my actual podcasts on like a podcasting app, that would be Nintendo's Switchcraft. It's got a red and blue cover with a weird bald guy, a little tiny yellow icon. And then Stadia Cast is my other show, and you can find both of those wherever podcasts are downloaded. And I gotta say, I did listen to after I met you guys. I came back and I listened to one episode of Horseshoes and Hand Grenade. It's the one where Smashy is super sick, and I gotta say, it's a great show, and it is now in my subscribe list.
Thank you so
Oh,
much,
thank
man.
you.
We
That's
appreciate that.
awesome.
Yeah, we try to put a little bit of work into it. It's a good time. But we appreciate you coming on it for sure, and
Yes,
everybody
definitely.
should definitely subscribe and watch your show on Twitch if they can, because it's a lot of fun live too.
Thank you.
So yeah, thanks, Bill. Later.
Bill, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, that was cool.
I
That was
love his voice. His voice is like the
right.
most relaxing, like
It's like
just it's wonderful.
it's like a podcast voice. It's perfect.
Perfection.
It's
Yeah.
perfect. I don't know if he was born with it or if he made it happen.
I mean, like
Maybe it's
Well-
Maybelline. I mean,
maybe it's podcastaline that doesn't work.
no, I don't think so. All
Your
right, let's
shirt matches our new overlay like so well that it like is blowing my mind right now, and I'm wondering if that's on purpose.
So you can actually thank Bill for this overlay, because he's the one that told me about the website where I got it. Nerdordie.com has a ton of fancy pants overlays for people, and I wanted our show to be flashier a little bit, so I flashed it up.
My face isn't enough for you, Steven. I'm done.
Your face is wonderful. I wanted everything else to meet the glory that is your
Ah,
face,
okay.
and it still
I
falls
appreciate that.
short.
Okay.
Still falls short, so there's nothing I could do. Let's bring in Lisa from I Love That Movie,
Yay!
because she is great. Let's do it. Lisa from hold on, I gotta play a sound effect for you. This is important. Lisa from I Love That Movie, are you there?
I'm here.
Oh, good, and we can hear you. I played the Batman sound because you were played.
I saw.
You were excellent at playing Batgirl while we were at the cosplay thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm very flattered.
Yeah, it was great, and I didn't even recognize you. Smash, we took Sam to the kids. The kids meet their superheroes as like kids encounter or something. Lisa's there as Batgirl, and I'm like taking pictures of Sam and no clue, no idea that that's her.
I didn't know if you knew it was me, but I wasn't supposed to break character, so I was like, I didn't want to ruin the magic, so I just didn't say anything.
Well, you killed character really well, because I had no idea until you tweeted me.
Picture?
Yeah, I got lots of pictures. I got a picture of
Otherwise, I was asleep. That was the day where 4 days of sleep had caught up with me. 4 days of not sleeping. I'm just like, no, there will be a nap or Ashley will explode.
Oh yeah, it was bad. So Lisa, how many years had you been to Dragon Con? Was this your first too?
No, I want to say it's at least 10 years, but I'm worried it's more. Maybe like 15. Yeah.
Oh wow,
It's been a while. So
yeah, but was this for like the digital media track? Was this your first time on that, or had you done that before?
yes. No, I've had my podcast about 2 years, and this was the first time I'd done the digital media track. So in all the time that I've attended Dragon Con, I've never been a part of a panel at Dragon Con before. So it was a totally different, experience.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're cutting out a little bit, but that's okay. We'll try to work through it. No, it's not a big deal. But yeah, so you do I Love That Movie, which I love that podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's funny because I didn't know you were going to be at Dragon Con until after I'd already heard it, I think. And then I learned you were doing a panel there on aliens, and I had a
Yes.
blast. And Ashley had
So bummed I missed that.
yeah, that's Smash's favorite movie, I think. Right, Smash?
Oh, that's awesome.
My dad and I bonded over guy movies when I was little, and that was one he let me watch way too young. So have like a love-hate relationship with that one.
Yeah, that was so that I got to go in Ashley's stead while she was off doing her networking on the other side of her life, which is the writing thing. But I had such an amazing time being able to finally meet you and go to that panel. Like what you've been to Dragon Con a bunch of times. What did you do things differently now that you're like going as a digital media person?
Can you still hear me? Okay,
Oh,
good.
there you
It's
go. Yeah,
still
yeah.
connected. There I am again. Yeah, it was totally different because I, had the panel at Saturday at 10 a.m. So that meant, getting up a little earlier. And then also had, the volunteer opportunity on Sunday at the kids' character encounter. So it meant more early mornings for me. And so I went to bed earlier, but it was really, really fun.
Oh, that's really great.
Early is always a little scary at Dragon Con because you want to stay up late because they just do stuff throughout the entire night. You always feel like you're gonna
Mhm.
miss something, but you also don't want to die because you need sleep.
Right. Yeah. Sleep is important. And, wanted to be energetic at and energetic at the volunteer opportunity too. So yeah, definitely made sure I got a lot.
Oh yeah, like I think the thing that was most I had a thought and it went away. So now I'm
That's a bingo
floundering.
square.
Yeah, Steven forgets
Steven
what he's
thinks a
going
thought
to
and then
say.
forgets his thought.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not coming back. So like as far as your like what you got into, what was one of your favorite parts of the con?
Man, it's so hard to pick a moment. I honestly, doing the panel was really great. It was just really fun, and everybody was, seemed to really interact in the audience. It's always kind of nerve wracking since most of my shows are not live, and since they're mostly recorded remotely, I'm not always in the same room with my guests. So that was just really fun, and the Q&A portion too was really nice.
Yeah, that was a good time. I enjoyed your Q&A. One of the things that I always struggle with, and actually I think we both look at each other when this happens, when someone gets a hold of the catch box and they're
Oh
like,
gosh.
"Yes, and when I did this once a long time ago," there's like a life story before it's like, "Do you have a question?"
Like, wait, yeah, where's the would you like the mic?
Why don't you just come sit up here? Um,
Yeah.
I think yours did pretty good, but it seems like what you've got going on, just in the way your show works, it's going to invite people who are more likely to be like, "Here is my commentary on the movie." Also, when you do your show live, do you find that happens a lot, or do people actually ask a question pretty quickly?
Y- Yeah, I think it's mostly like share time, but I feel like the podcast in general is sort of therapy in a way for the guests. So I don't discourage it. I kind of like it. So yeah, sharing like, their feelings about the movie and why it's so important to them is it's good.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
How
that's
did you so this is me being a bonehead, but how did you get into podcasting your love of movies? Because that's like really exciting.
Yeah. So, I've been listening to quite a few podcasts over the years, and I started out in a movie club actually at work, and I wasn't really digging how it was going because it was too hard for all of us to meet up and watch movies. We could never agree on movies. And so I was like, I want to find a way to create a community. But it was kind of tough because sometimes people have different opinions and it can get
Right.
kind of heated. And I know I've got a lot of opinions, even though I try to remain positive on the podcast. I mean, there's some movies I like and don't like.
Mhm.
So I thought of the idea of just having a podcast that's only about movies you love so that there's kind of, not a whole lot of discourse and it's mainly just gushing over a movie for an hour or two. And I also just really like hearing people's stories. I like hearing like, this is a movie that me and my mother grew
Aw.
up watching. Sometimes the guests will even say something like, this family member passed away and this movie reminds me of them, or it reminds me of my wife, or something like that. I think those stories are so interesting and so valuable, and they give you a background as to why someone is so obsessed with the movie. There can be another deeper connection there too, and I like hearing that. So it's kind of getting all my loves into one, if that makes sense.
No, that's
That's
perfect.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kelly just said, it's nice to have some of those positives highlighted, and that's yeah, it's nice to have squishy
Yeah,
wonderfulness to listen to.
Yeah, I've
good,
I've I've had podcasts that
good.
I have subscribed to and just completely turned off after a couple episodes because I'm like, all these people do is trash the movie, or you have two people that love it and one person that hates it, and they just argue. And I think that's what attracts me to your podcast is that you're just sitting there talking about something you both agree is great and fun and cool to watch. So it's fun to hear people loving on something, you know.
Good. Yeah. I totally agree. I mean, there have been some podcasts, same here, where I've subscribed and then unsubscribed because I just couldn't handle someone talking poorly about Blade Runner, or something like that. So it's like, I'm sorry, I've got to go, kind of thing. And it's draining sometimes to listen to complaining for
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah.
You've got to have a balance. And some, I don't want to discourage any like honest movie reviews. I listen to a lot of those podcasts too. But yeah, I admit I'm partial to ones that a little bit on the positive side
Yeah.
because that's
It's just more fun, man. It's just more fun to have a good time and
exactly.
smile. It takes more muscles to frown, as we learned from books when we were kids. Well, Lisa, man, it's been great having you on, and I appreciate you taking the time to swing by and talk a little bit about your podcast and your experience at Dragon Con. Where can everybody find you so they can listen to more of your stuff?
Oh yeah, so I just search that movie. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, Player FM, Podbean, Stitcher, all the big. You can also find me on Twitter at ILTM Podcast, and I have an I Love That Movie podcast Instagram. Yeah, come find me. We book group, which is just a bunch of people talking about movies they love. So yeah, just reach out, and if you want to be a guest, I welcome people from all walks of life. They can be podcasters, or it doesn't matter to me. You just have to love the movie you're talking about. So that's it.
Yay,
Sweet.
that's exciting. I do
Awesome.
love that you do that you just bring everybody in as kind of a family and say, if we can gush about the same thing, then it doesn't matter if you're a podcaster or I met you in the mall bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was on the show, so
Yay!
he listened to the Coco one. It's really good. But
Okay.
yeah, like it's just one of those things where it's like I didn't want to limit it. Just like I was a new podcaster, I didn't want to limit it to people that were thinking about it. And some of my guests have gone on to make their own podcast. So
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
it's just a good, if you want to kind of test your wings, it might be a good show for you to check out. So
Yes, for sure. I had a great time talking about Roger Rabbit with Lisa. So if anybody wants
yes,
to
that
talk about
was
movie,
so fun.
it was so
We
great.
dove deep. It got
Yes.
really deep.
It was such a fun movie to talk about. But yeah, I definitely want to come back on sometime. And I know there's people in this group that have a movie that they love that they'd probably love to talk to you about. So as long as they can reach you on Twitter, they can start that conversation. So yeah, we appreciate it, Lisa. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming on.
you so much for hanging.
Thank you so much. I love the show. Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye. That's awesome. So that was
She's
Lisa.
so squishy and adorable, and I love her.
She's great. She had glitter, according to her Twitter. There was glitter involved in tonight's call-in. I know a lot of that of her interview when she was giving her all of her stuff dropped out, but you can find her if you just search "I love that movie" on any.
And I do have
podcatcher.
in the notes for the show today too for all our guests.
Yeah, so you'll find that, and we've got one final guest who I wanted to bring on because he was Mr. Tech at Dragon Con. He did such a great job wrangling all of us knuckleheads who don't know how to do anything and making it all sound really good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Scott Moore to the show. Scott.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, we're good.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Man, I'm recovering.
See,
Right?
are you in the same boat I am where you're like almost physically recovered, but you're mentally still there?
No, I've been sick as hell the past 3 days.
Oh,
You got
no.
on crud.
Oh yeah, I got concro like a mother. I'm not gonna finish that line. But yeah. So like today's actually the first day I've been able to like sit upright and not
Oh
be
gosh,
dizzy.
dude.
So it's been rough, but
Oh, man.
thankfully a lot of medication, a lot of sleep, and I'm mostly recovered now.
That's great.
I mean, that's fairly standard for getting back from Dragon Con is
Well,
medication.
this I mean, I've only been going for I think this is my third, fourth year now. So like, but this is the worst it's ever been.
Oh,
like,
Have you
geez.
gotten sick every time?
Well, when I went I went last year full time for the first time, and I got a little bit sick. I had to take like an extra day off from work, but that was about it.
Scott, you got to stop licking stuff, man. We weren't serious.
Wrong Scott.
They're like on two opposite sides of the Scott spectrum. We've got
Yeah.
audio Scott and then
I'm the
Scotty.
tech Scott. The other one's Scotty.
We keep doing that. That's awesome. So, dude, you were Mr. Audio at this thing. Like, you brought in your own board. You were helping everybody sound good, and it was really well done. Have you been coming to Dragon Con and part of the podcast track for a long time? As I called it podcast track because I'm looking back years. I know it's a digital media track now. It wasn't then.
Well, this is my second year volunteering.
Okay, cool.
So last year when it was podcasting track, it was my first year, but and I did like last year I provided like my computer and a couple other things. So, and like Charles, and that's how like this is kind of how Charles and I hooked up because we both have worked in AV for many, many years. Never worked together, never crossed paths, but like. So my show is the Blood Crow Stories.
Yes.
We have our live show every year at Dragon Con, and 3 years ago was our first show. So, and this is back before we had all of the equipment they had. They just had a basic, just basic audio equipment, basic 4-channel mixer, not a great setup. Good enough to get by, but definitely no recording or anything like that. So
all of this is complete Greek. You're like, I had these many buttons, and now I have these many buttons.
I'm trying to simplify it so I don't,
simplify for Smashy.
Well, simplify for anyone who's not an audio nerd like me. But basically, so the first year we had a live show, I came in with a board I was using, and I just set up my stuff. Like unplugged their stuff, plugged my stuff in, did a quick sound check, did the show went off without a hitch, unplugged everything, plugged everything back in, made sure they were up and running, and I turned to Charles and said, thank you for the opportunity, have a great day.
Peace.
So, and then, after that, I reached out to him and I'm like, hey man, I'm into audio and podcasting and everything. Like I'm down to help you guys out, anything you guys need, let me know. So that's when he decided to bring me on to Dragon Con the first year.
Oh wow.
And or the following year, and he's like, so last year we showed up and I set everything up, and last year we were able to record for the first time. We were trying to stream, but we didn't have good internet at the time.
Were you in this? Where were you guys last year?
Same spot.
Oh, okay.
But last year we were able to record all the panels, multi-track record all the panels in Galleria 6, and I think we got a couple in Galleria 7 too.
Nice.
But after last year's setup, he was like, "Yeah, you're not going anywhere. You're tied to me for your life." So somewhere along the way, I signed a deal with the devil and didn't realize it.
I feel like once Charles finds somebody that helps him to that extent, it's like, oh no, I'm going to get you here.
You live here now.
No, absolutely. Like, and we rag on Charles, but he does a great job of taking care of us. And getting us everything we need. Like this year, he got the cameras, and
the catch mics were so much fun.
Oh, those are great.
Oh, that was last year. He brought that in last year, and I'd actually used those before in my previous job. So that was great.
Those are super
I want
fun.
one of those, just like, I don't know, to carry around and throw at people.
That'd be great.
To give people a visual of what this thing is, it's like a big foam cube that houses a microphone, and it's got a
pillow.
Yeah,
it's a pillow with a mic in it.
It's a big pillow with a mic in it, and you can throw it at people, and it won't hurt them because it's like 4 inches of fluff.
Okay. So it won't hurt them. Like, we had this whole thing about Charles saying, do a chest pass. He demonstrated everything. He's like, you need to do a chest pass so you don't hit the ceiling, so you don't hit somebody in the face, yada yada yada. But there's also a lot of people that maybe never played sports on the digital media track. So watching people throw and catch that catch mic was my favorite thing.
Oh, no. You missed it last year when people tried to overhand like football throw
Just
it,
plunk the ceiling.
and it would just nail the ceiling and slam onto someone, or they tried to like and we had some definitely some people who played softball, so they would try to yeet it and it'd go off the wall or something like that. It was hilarious.
Oh, that's amazing.
It
So
was so good.
it was super fun. Similar to what Bill was talking about. We hung out, we ate lunch in the fishbowl,
Yeah.
where we miraculously found a table for 7 people, which
Yeah,
is
that was great.
stupid. Like, that doesn't happen. So I was like, this is just divine providence.
Yeah.
For us all to sit together. But man, what was your favorite part of the con? What did you enjoy doing the most? I know you're stuck controlling stuff a lot, but
I mean, honestly, yeah. Like I don't, and I'm trying to get a better balance of this next year, so I get to do more con stuff. I don't get to do a lot of con stuff as it is.
Charles, stop locking Scott in the corner.
No, it's Dragon Con needs to give us more volunteers. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, my favorite part is like the panels that I got like specifically asked to help with. The botch guys reached out to me because we became friends after last year. The Adventure Inc. and versus Botched blood battle was probably the most fun I had. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy when the panels go well and everyone has a lot of fun, especially like the game show ones, because those always have like, there's always a real big chance for disaster,
yeah.
and
Yes.
you're never sure if it's going to go great or not, but when it goes great, it's amazing. Like, like a couple times we had just so much great fan interaction on that show.
Oh
yeah. And definitely getting to meet you guys and getting to meet all of the people in the Discord. Because this was the first year we did the Discord.
Yeah.
And
that was a really I can't imagine going into that blind.
Well, no, and I mean, that's what we did the first year.
Cool.
The first year was just like, okay, here's all the stuff.
Have fun.
Do what you can with it. And I'm like, okay, so I did I did my thing. This year we had more of a plan going into the con, of what equipment we were going to have and everything. And, like I brought my board and everything like that. And even then there's still, some things that we made mistakes on.
I saw no mistakes.
Everything looked perfect. You don't have to tell anybody.
Yeah, it was,
well,
we are awesome.
I'll have to tell them when, hey, that podcast that that panel you did last weekend, yeah, the sound didn't come out great.
Oh no,
It's gone. Your entire show is gone.
It was your voice. It wasn't our fault. So maybe you should work on that.
Well, no, it's just mostly it was in Galleria 7, which we just don't have control of, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was that.
But
I mean, it worked. That room was fine. It did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. But overall, like this year, we were able to get streaming, in Galleria 6 consistently.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of progress this year, which I'm very proud of. And I did have a lot of great help with the other volunteers. Joe Art especially, what kind of stepped up and became my right hand man.
Yeah, Joe was amazing. Joe really took over the Discord, and I feel like he ran that very well.
I love that
absolutely,
guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, so every year is a work in progress, and next year we're gonna do it even better than we did this year.
Yay!
But yeah, I mean, overall, like just getting to network, getting to meet new people, because I definitely didn't get to do that the first year. I was kind of too focused on working.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that. I get a little tunnel vision.
Well, I'm glad you got to meet new people because I really enjoyed eating with you guys.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, it was a really good time. Like overall, I think it was fun. It's good to hear multiple people talk about how the experience networking was. So I hope if anyone out there is listening to this and does a podcast and is interested or participates in digital media of any kind, whether that's Twitch or making videos or whatever, like you get some sort of good vibes behind going to a con and being a part of this and trying to get involved, because it's you come away, yes, having met a lot of people. I mean, having like been able to do your show or been on a panel or whatever, but the
Yeah.
relationships you build is really what you remember and really is what made it so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we have the Discord, we have this place, to come back to. It's just going to enhance it going further.
Yeah.
It's easier to stay in touch when you're all, kind of in the same spot like
Scattered.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing more people jump in who were actually the audience members are now like, oh,
Yeah,
there's a
that was
Discord.
cool.
I'm gonna get in. Hey guys, I do a party, and then we can help each other and support each other and stuff.
Well,
It's
and you guys talked about it with Charles, but where, hey, we're running out of water, and
Yes.
Charles puts out a call. Next thing you know, we're freaking buried in it.
yeah, like I think we can shout out Matthew Malice, who went to CVS and borrowed their hand trucks to bring 3 crates of water down to the room.
Oh, Malice, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was pretty.
I mean,
pretty great.
that was awesome. Like, that was an awesome thing to see.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, I think we asked you what your favorite part is. Yes, we did. We did that. But I think that's all we've got, and we can go ahead and let you go. Where can people find you? I know you do a podcast, as we all do.
So my show is the Blood Crow Stories. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever podcasts are streamed. Our website is thebloodcrowstories.com. We are a serialized horror audio drama. Each season is its own storyline with its own unique characteristics. We're currently wrapping up season 3, which is biblical demons in like a cyberpunk world.
Nice.
Holy crap!
You had me at biblical demons.
our 4th season, which we did for our live show, we did the first episode. Our 4th season is 1950s Hollywood and cults, and it's called Eidolon, and that will start on October 31st.
Nice.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
And outside of that, you can find me on at SBM Base on Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
Yay.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Scott. It was great meeting you and great to have you on the show.
And we hope you get feeling like all the way better.
Yeah, feel real good soon.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
Okay.
That was so
Yay.
fun. So all of those wonderful people were part of Dragon Con, and that barely scratches the surface of the cool people we met. Those are just the 4 we got to talk to tonight.
That was the what's the chocolate thing? The Whitman sampler.
Yes, the Whitman sampler.
That was the decon sampler.
That was just the sampler, but there's so many more people. So I'm going to pause this real quick. How do we want to package this thing? Because we just did like an hour and 10 minutes or an hour of show.
I was going to say we did like...
How do you, because I expected it to
should we have that be like the decon report and change the intro at the beginning?
Yeah, somebody yell at me what they think, because I'm curious. Because it would be good, or I could front loading the show feels kind of weird.
Yeah.
To do like an hour of interviews and then the H&H stuff all wrangled in.
I feel like you should just release what we did as the decon wrap up.
The Dragon Con report.
Yes.
I don't want the only thing I'm nervous. So McFly says do it all. He's the producer. So we might just do it all. The only thing I was nervous about is if we did split it, I don't want somebody to go, oh, that's just their Dragon Con report. I'll skip to the funny things. You know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of value in this bit. Maybe I can cap the beginning of the show.
Well, I mean, if somebody's not gonna want to listen to it anyway, they're still gonna scroll through it.
They're still gonna skip it. But I think what I'll do is I'll put a thing at the beginning, like we spend some time interviewing friends. Or not tell them anything and just say, screw you guys, listen to these interviews because they're awesome.
Yes. Does that mean I can pee really quick?
Yeah, go pee.
Okay.
Look at Scotty.
Scotty's like, I'm driving home, let me on.
We'll make room for you, Scotty. We'll make room. That's super awesome. Okay, what McFly will do it. We'll keep rolling. We'll let Ashley go pee. That was super fun. I love talking to these folks, man. It really is great. I know we're gushing about each other and the podcast and everything, but man, like it really just was super fun. Back in 2007, when Ashley and I started this show, we had no idea where it would go. And we went to Dragon Con in 2010 and we did some YouTube videos and interviews. There's the man. Jacob's popping on. Have you been
So
drinking scotch?
my favorite part of that whole part was when Rock Guard of Garlic said, "You know something? The BET folks came and they were awesome, and they have this whole new thing set up, and they're gonna have video, and they're gonna get these guys their opportunities." And man, that was so cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just it's opportunities that pop up out of nowhere.
Oh, it was awesome.
It's so cool. No,
That was very cool. Yeah.
yeah. I learned a lot. I had a lot of fun talking to everybody. I'm glad you
And
enjoyed it.
Bill has the radio voice. Holy moly. He is in the wrong business. Teaching sixth graders is a great, great, great thing, but man, you've got a voice for it.
Oh yeah. He listening to them on a Next Top Podcaster, you were like, there is a voice that stands out. It's just, I mean, it is radio as all get out. And his Switchcraft show where he does the news, like
Right.
he is on point.
Silky smooth. Okay,
Yeah.
here's Ashley. Bye, guys.
Thank you for your interlude. Jacob's got on reindeer pajama pants, if anyone was curious.
I was like, oh, I have a chance to shove down applesauce so I don't throw up and die.
Oh gosh, you're on the applesauce. That's really
Yeah,
the
the
thing.
applesauce cravings are real.
You ate like
Nah.
3 applesauces at the hotel when me and Jacob were eating breakfast.
What?
You
Yeah,
like the applesauce. Alright.
I'll do like 2 a day. I haven't had any today, so I'm making up for it.
That's great. We've just been sitting around in the rain all day. All right, let's get this show back on the rails. Let's see if we can do some sort of intro like thing. I'm just gonna go. Let's just go.
Okay.
Well, that ends the interview segment of the show and our Dragon Con report. We had a great time. So we'll just dive into this because, man, it is an hour in and you guys haven't even heard a factoid yet. Now, sometimes that's normal.
I was going to say, how is that irregular?
But usually that's because me and Ashley are the ones talking to each other for hours. I know we have so much to say regarding Dragon Con, but if it wants to come out, it will. So let's just
She said.
That's how everybody felt in the bathroom at Dragon Con. If it wants to come out, it will.
There's so many bathroom stories.
There's so much. There's so many. Jacob
McFly,
didn't get
I'm
to
telling
tell-
on you, baby.
He didn't get to tell his story about helping Sam. So we're sitting in Audio 101. I'm not going to tell his story because that's his to tell. But we're sitting in Audio 101. I'm up on the tables that we were talking about in the and I'm just doot. Sam's out in the audience with Stephanie. He's playing the Nintendo Switch to keep him busy, and he's got headphones on. And shortly before the panel starts, it gets quiet because the music dies down, and Sam goes, "Mama, I have to poop."
Like just dead quiet after the blazing rock music, and everybody like cracks up.
Just everywhere.
Jacob jumps up and he's like, come on, big man, let's go.
Yeah, Jacob goes, all right, big guy, let's go. So Jacob, I'm going to tell it since Jacob told me I could tell it. Jacob takes Sam to the bathroom so Sam could poop. And apparently, while Jacob is in there holding Sam up on the toilet, because Sam is small and toilets are big, so sometimes he needs a little assistance being able to sit up there without falling in. And so Jacob's standing there holding him, and he's leaned back up against the door to the stall. He's got him. All of a sudden, the door lock gives way. Jacob does a backflip on the bathroom floor.
Into the urinal.
Into the urinals. It has to like get back up all the while the door's wide open and Sam's sitting on the potty.
Just staring at him.
Staring at him. Jacob nearly died sliding across the gross bathroom floor.
He was like, it was the most disgusting thing.
They were gone. Oh, and the bathroom floors at Dragon Con. Oh my god.
There's so much piddle on them.
I went into one bathroom, and you'll hear this when we finally get to post 479, because it did get recorded. I just didn't take my USB drive down there, so I didn't get it yet. But it'll be late, but it's coming. But they had stolen the toilet seats from bathroom. Like, the bathrooms are just wrong. They're just wrong. I had to poop one morning. I go to the bathroom and I walk in and there's toilet seats are missing from every seat. And I only find out later that Scotty ran into the same issue because he went to the Discord and was like, who stole the seats? And I was like, they're still gone. Because I was down there at like 8 a.m. and just everything was wrong. But Jacob luckily survived. He may have sprained some muscle somewhere, but Sam didn't say anything about it. Sam hasn't mentioned it once.
When he walked back in, like after they were done, Steven's actively up there being a panelist. The show's actively going on, and Sam just walks in like freaking Tony Stark rock star. Just walks in and he goes, "Hi, Daddy," and just like walks and sit down. Everybody's like, they can't not laugh at that shit.
No, they laughed. They all laughed. I'm like, shh, it's okay, buddy. I'll see you.
Ellie said he sprained his dignity muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. By the way, did you see the carpet pictures from after they shampooed them at Dragon Con? Like the halvesies? There's Marriott carpet. Somebody took a picture from a balcony of them actively shampooing, and the carpet where they've shampooed is like bright and serene, and on the other side it's like black. It's like a brown, disgusting Marriott carpet. Everything about that con is gross and magic at the same time. It's just,
it really is. It's so discombobulating because you meet really wonderful people and you connect and you learn, but then you don't sleep and you can't find anywhere to go to the bathroom and you're constantly worried about food and like you're afraid to touch anything because you don't want to get the con crud.
Oh, it's a rough experience. But it was
it's
super
exhausting. Like you really do need mental and physical recovery days. It's like going to like camp when you're little where they just physically exhaust you and you stay up all night and you eat marshmallows that you aren't entirely sure are good to eat.
Yeah, and it's a weird place. I really am thankful to Zafo and Kelly for helping us out with a hotel room that was on a level that had a huge
was so magic.
area.
Kelly and Kevin were amazing.
They're
like
just, yeah.
Zafo had this like giant beer truck basically that he just kept in his room, and like they introduced us to Nicole and Natalie, and they were fantastic people, and they just like have zen and they know all the shortcuts, and Xander was fantastic. So I feel like they really. And we got to see Sub, who's currently probably playing WoW.
But yeah, we got to see Sub. He came in, so we got to meet and hang out with people in real life that we see all the time in the Legion of Dorks.
Yeah.
That was cool. Sub was a big help at our live panel. He handed out the bingo cards. Zafo
he did. I'm like, I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. Go talk to people.
Yeah, Zafo was watching time and helping me remember stuff, and Kelly was running around collecting the bingo cards.
She was running it. She the people walked up to her after our show was over and they were asking her questions because she thought she was they thought she was running the room. Kelly's like, I was just
she's just
I don't do that.
She has extra hands, so she's helping. Jacob was actually holding a mic, being awesome, producing the show for us. Like everything was great. Everything was great until the end of that episode where I'm like, so thanks for coming, everybody. We'll see you later. Instead of going, hi, you can find us at, here are all my Twitters. Here is the web address for where we are. So like, who knows if anybody's going to come to this show? They know it's Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, so that's my main hope is that they find it.
I could not say Horseshoes and Hand Grenades because I never have to say it. So when I was up on my panels, they're like, where we can find you? I'm like, and then they're like, I would say the URL and everybody in the front row was shaking their head. No, Ashley, that's not it. And like, they gave me a card with the time to promote the show on it and everything. I was miserable. Also, Scotty's home, apparently. He killed several people getting there.
Oh, he's it. Let's just pull him in. Why start a show if we've still got Scotty to talk to? Where
did he go?
I don't know. I dragged him in and then he left. It's okay. Scotty, he's gone. He's gone. When he gets back, we'll pull him in. But for now, let's do a factoid.
Okay.
The name Rosemary has nothing to do with the rose or the name Mary, but derives from the Latin name Ros Marinus, which literally means dew of the sea.
Pretty cool, eh?
That's
I don't understand. I was staring at my rosemary plant when I found that.
I love where your factoids come from. Like, I love that it's just generally you stare around the room until you find an interesting object, and then you go facts about blah.
Literally that.
And then that becomes the thing. Let's do some world news. How about you?
World news.
I'm I'm going to spend so much time editing this show. Like, there were so many little dead airs from cutouts and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to edit. Scotty told me it's hard.
I was going to say, you were just bragging to everybody about how you never have to edit.
I never edit. All right, Scotty's back. Let's get Scotty. 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 Hello? Hello? Fix your audio and come back, please, tomorrow, yes? I'll pull you back in when you fix your junk. It'll be fine. British schools will use Nintendo games to teach kids life skills. Yes.
Wait, what?
Mario and Donkey Kong will become fixture of UK classrooms. I don't have him muted. Fixture of UK classrooms following the introduction of Nintendo games to the computing curriculum, including a national esports competition in schools. Digital Schoolhouse is a not-for-profit scheme supported by Nintendo and backed by the UK government that uses video games to help teach computing and other life skills to youngsters. One game offered through the initiative is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, a fighting game that sees players choose between a variety of popular characters, including Pokemon. Thank you for that concise synopsis of what Super Smash Bros. Is. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a competitive multiplayer game and will be the focus of the esports competition, which Digital Schoolhouse said would develop teamwork skills. Calpesh Taylor, head of communications at Nintendo UK, said the program, spelled Programme, because British, which is also backed by gaming industry trade body Yuki, would inspire the next generation of young minds across the UK. Several other game companies have joined Digital Schoolhouse since it launched in 2014. It is forecast to reach about 32,000 pupils and 7,000 teachers over the next academic year. How do you feel about random, specific games being used for life skills, particularly something like Smash Brothers? Where are you at on that?
What does Smash Brothers do?
It's a fighting game. You fight. You try to throw the.
No,
other
I
people
understand
off
that, but
thing.
what are they trying?
Teamwork.
Are they trying to teach you not to get your butt kicked on the playground? Like, find the high ground and kick the child off the edge. But if they bubble back at you, beware.
That's actually a really good way. Throw them off the top of the playset, and if they come back, throw them again.
I don't really understand.
I don't know why Smash Brothers would be a thing for that.
Do you play Harvest Moon, the game that I hate?
Yeah, so I'm a farmer now.
Yes, right. Okay, so today, if you take the piggies and you put mayonnaise with it, you have mayonnaise bacon.
You can do that.
I don't know how to play Harvest Moon.
You can get void mayonnaise from the chickens. From the
void mayonnaise? That sounds like they voided their bowels.
If I get void chickens, I can put the void egg in the mayonnaise maker and get void mayonnaise, and it sells for more.
What is a void chicken?
You get void chickens from the witch. So, I mean, it's all real life. I'm learning how to farm. One night, the witch flies over.
I don't understand. Like, is it like one day you will be esport master and you too can have $300,000 for your new vehicle when you are 13?
Yes, you can. Okay. You can get all those things.
Okay,
it's a good.
I don't know. I don't understand. Like, if you're like Breath of the Wild taught me how to cook. You get a fire and you throw apples at it, and you get a fairy and some milk and a glow in the dark snail, and you stick it in a pot for 3 seconds, and then you have life altering food nuggets.
Yeah, and it helps you climb walls better. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that it can help you do.
Crickets are great for climbing walls.
That's the thing that you need?
I ate applesauce.
Everything is better now. I should have gone and filled up my water when you did, because this has been empty for a while, but I keep tilting it back.
That's so sad.
You want to
bring Scotty in and I'll talk to him?
No, we're good. I can't leave this chair once I've sat down in it. The podcast will be completed.
I can't. My urine is demanding.
Let's pull Scotty in. Scotty, are you fixed?
Hello?
Oh, he's fixed.
Yeah!
He's
Fred!
I was muted, and that was the only issue I was having.
I wondered if you had muted yourself, because I'm like, I haven't muted him yet, so I don't hear two Scotties, and there's a mute symbol.
I was just mute. Hello? I can't hear you now.
What? Why not?
Oh wait, now you're back.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like you're just chaos. Like you just walk around like Loki. Just like a cloud of chaos follows you.
So
My
Scott,
personal favorite comment I got the entire weekend was from friend of the show, Justin Robert Young, who after our live show, he looked at me and just goes, "You're a disaster, man. You know that, right?"
Oh my god, that's so true.
that's perfect. Did
Yeah.
you feel complimented by Jury when he told you that?
Very much so. He was just like, "Look, man, you're the force of chaos, and
Yes.
this guy's like the normal one who's trying to ring it all in. It's great." I'm like, "Okay, thanks, Jerry."
It's like I'm a real podcaster now. I'm the chaos and he's the straight man. It's the way
That's
we're
gonna be his
play
next
it.
podcast.
Chaos.
Scotty equal chaos.
I like it. We could do that, man. So I don't know. We can talk about Dragon Con if you want, or you can just tell me whatever you want to talk about, and we'll talk about
mean,
it.
I know. Let me put it this way. I was at work. I rushed to get out. And at the exact same time on the stream, Steven goes, "Well, we've had some lovely guests tonight." And I'm like, "No, you're going to have one more. You're going to have one more. No."
I need to talk. Let me back on the show. Yeah, you missed our
I was
last
like, "I'll do
call-in
the
show.
normal show. I'll do whatever. It doesn't matter."
I just want to be on.
So to give you guys a visual, like Scotty is basically this just in the Discord. And again, like that's all we have to go on until you meet these people, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, this kid is all over the place. Like all over the place. And like I knew who it was when he walked in because he had, what did you have? Like leopard print, like these leopard print joggers on and like
They were jeggings. Thank you very much.
okay. I
Get it
don't know
right.
fashion stuff. I dress like a dude. And then
Well, here's the thing. I knew we had become fast friends in the Discord, but then meeting people in real life is always a moment of like, do I hug them? Do I run? What do I do? And Steven's just like, "Hello, sir. How are you?" And I'm like, "This is the energy we're doing." And then I look over and see the tallest woman I've ever seen in my entire life. I was so excited to meet Smash. We've got a real brother sister like thing going on in the Discord, and the first thing I say is, "You're massive. You are a giant woman."
so he's standing in front of like Tony P, and Scotty looks up at me and goes, "You're a lot bigger than I thought you would be."
And I meant in height. I meant Amazonian, like, but
He goes, "I just thought you were gonna be this petite little," because I'm tall. I'm 5'9". Like I look like a football player. I've been very tall my entire life, so I'm used to being the tall chick, right? But like I haven't had somebody tell me I'm tall in a long time.
I think I figured out why I thought you were short, and it's the dumbest reason. It's because on the webcams, you have more space above your head than Stephen does. So I was like, "Oh, she's short. Look, she can barely fit in frame."
That's because, like, by the end of the show, I'm like, if I don't urinate now, bad things are gonna happen. So I
Start
squish.
squishing.
My spine compacts to make room for more pee. I don't think that works like that.
That's what happens when you grow old. That's why old people just slowly get smaller and smaller because they're compacting to keep the pee in.
It's the only tool they have.
I thought, like, so guys, apparently, like, you guys are all screwed and will all have enlarged prostates at one point. Like, I was talking to a doctor, they're like, yeah, every dude's just getting a big old prostate and not be able to pee.
Yeah, that's a real life problem. But
It's
Scotty's
still,
got a handle.
like,
He's-
not as
that's
crappy
fun.
as being a girl, but, you know, enjoy your grapefruit prostates.
If you party hard enough, you won't live long enough to have a big prostate, and then everything's fixed.
Scotty's
Yeah,
good.
that's what happened with me and Chewbacca on Saturday at Dragon Con. I partied enough to where I'm like, I'll be fine.
Dude, I gotta tell you, like I was looking at Discord when I woke up the next morning, and there was red phone booth babies, and it was like 1:30 in the morning. And I'm like, Scotty was out at the red phone booth at 1:30, like trying to get people to come. I was like, no, I'm asleep at 10. Like this isn't happening.
It was rough to go to bed earlier this year
It
because in
was.
previous years but then we had Steven's son, he's 4.5 years old, come,
Yeah, sorry.
and that was
Sorry.
I mean, we weren't
Sounded like an
sleeping
adventure.
anyway.
Yeah, it was an adventure, but it's okay. Well, how did the red phone booth go? I want to go in there. I just haven't. Was it fun? Was it worth a visit?
Happened was we're waiting in line, and the Night Vale people, they might have already been in there, but there was a private party being held by the company that they are agents for the McElroy brothers, for Night Vale, and they're having a private party in the back, which led me to go, I'm gonna get back there. I didn't, but I tried. But everyone who walked up, they're trying to ask, like, are you with the private party in the back? Are you with the private party? And of course, we had to be like, absolutely not. Look at us.
Yeah, right.
But
Absolutely, we are.
next to us, two normal sized humans, and then one person who's just massive, super tall, walks up, and they knock on the door, and the guy goes, are you with the party? And they go, no, but we're Chewbacca and BB-8, so maybe let us in. And then the guy goes, wait 1 second, and then turns around, and then finally is like, okay, you guys can come in. And then Party of 5, which was us, you come in as well. Apparently the voice actor for Max Goof was behind us as well.
Oh, snap.
Was not being a good person from what I heard, but
Oh no.
the red phone booth is very, very good if you want to live your best, like, Great Gatsby life. Because I was just walking around smoking cigars and drinking extremely fancy drinks, none of which I paid for. The only beverage I bought that night was a whiskey sour for Chewbacca, because I refuse to not be able to, at my grave, look up and be like, I bought Chewbacca whiskey once.
Okay, why are you talking at your grave? Are we zombie, Scotty? You should be real dead at that point.
I meant like right before the grave, but it's fine. It's all good.
Deathbed.
Yeah. Fun fact: the minute I gave Chewbacca the whiskey sour is the minute I blacked out.
Oh
And
my god!
it was like magic. I gave it to him, and he was like, like, I understand now.
How did you get, like, did Chewie carry you back to your domicile?
Well, no, last year I had a similar incident, and my roommate last year and this year, Sean, is very good at knowing, like, okay, it's done.
God
Take
bless
him
you,
back.
Sean.
Oh, you have a great celebrity handler to make sure you don't get out of control.
Yeah.
Everyone needs
Weirdest
that person.
moment was like the night hanging with Night Attack so many years, you kind of learn their intricacies, and one of the big intricacies of Brian is the fact that he refuses to buy a hotel. He always has a fan buy it and he pays them later. That's what happened with Sean, and that's when I went, I am new Brushwood. I am the new Brushwood.
I mean, you did get your picture taken with Jury, and I'm like, he has been replaced.
Yep. You've taken care
Yeah,
of it.
that was a very weird, bizarre night, because as much as Chewbacca was fun, doing the end of the world party was amazing, because before that day, we didn't know what we were doing. Because I just said, hey, Charles, can we have a live show for a load of BS? And he goes, yeah, sure. How about 2:30 on Saturday? And I went, you're aware the show's called A Load of BS, and we do a lot of swearing. Maybe put us later in the show. And he goes, okay. And then ends up giving us, like, what according to Justin was prime real estate of the very last show of the con, essentially. And he goes, but you have to come up with a clever name because no one will come to this show otherwise. And so we did the end of the world party, and my favorite part about it, I spent a very lengthy amount of time outside the Hilton in, like, the party area, because they were playing the Cupid Shuffle, and your boy was getting down to
Oh,
that. After-
Skeet. That's all I heard.
That happened as well. Then afterwards, I come down and I meet up with Blake. We're like, okay, you ready to do the show? And we notice there are people lining up that we have no idea who they are.
Isn't that
Yes.
awesome?
Yes,
That's fantastic.
you're on it now.
It gets better, because we walked up and then said, what's this supposed to be? And they go, oh, it's the end of the world party. And then proceeded to tell us about our panel. And there were things they were saying that we knew we weren't doing. And it got real awkward really quickly. So we just
That's
kept
like
acting.
such a good idea. You're like, I don't know what to do. Let's ask these people.
Yeah. And so, like, by the time we got in, we had them, like, convinced that we had no idea what was going on. And then we got up at the tables and they stared at awe, like, oh no. Oh no.
Oh, I'm so stealing that trick next time because I always walk up. I walk up to people. We had 2 people sitting outside the room. I said, "Hey, are you guys here to see Horseshoes and Hand Grenades?" They were like, "Yeah, I've been to one of these once, and it was pretty fun, like in Tampa." And I was like, "Oh snap! No, you haven't."
I get that all the time. Like, I'll just tell a random stranger, we'll be having a conversation, and podcasting will come up because it just does. And I'll say, we're Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Oh, I've heard of that. You guys are good. And I'm like, you haven't, but thanks.
Yeah, there's no way. It's astronomical possibility that you've heard it. I know everyone that listens to this show, and you're not one of them.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, the first time I told Blake about you guys, I said, I made some new friends in the Discord. They do a show called Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. He said, I've heard of them. They're very good.
It's so amazing.
Because there's like a country music band called Horseshoes and Hand Grenades.
We get their fans at our Facebook a lot.
I'm like, nope. I'm like screaming Germans as far.
It's
Nope.
Exact opposite of country music, Horseshoes
Yes.
and Hand Grenades.
as far away as it can possibly
That's all we
be.
could come up with in 2007. Steve was like, let's think of a really good name. And we're like, sweater, bat, shit, and doodle schools.
That was a good one.
Okay.
We almost went with that one.
Yeah, that was definitely our second choice.
Bad SEO, though. Real bad SEO. Had to find some other thing we could use. So the Adventures of Scotty sounds like a wonderful Dragon Con recap. And I'm really glad that the End of the World party went really well. It was awesome snagging jury.
There was one issue.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that there was a gentleman in the front row. So we made whiskey for our show. We made it out of my family's moonshine. We aged it in a barrel. And we made little bottles for the audience and 2 big bottles for me and Blake. There was a gentleman in the front row who was dressed like Riddick from Chronicles of Riddick. He pulls up his chair right in front of me, grabs my bottle of whiskey, and upends it.
Oh, snap.
And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you to stop because you're terrifying. And then everyone else proceeds to crowd around us like sharks. And Blake is forced to just throw whiskey at them instinctively, like, back away, beasts.
Oh, no. Oh, like we didn't technically hand out alcohol. It was forcibly taken.
Yes, that's what it was. It was used in self-defense.
We put in like a little mini Kleenex in each one and make very tiny Molotov cocktails.
Oh my god, that would be so fun. Jacob, I want to make a baby Molotov. Jacob.
So I am not missing your show next time. The situation was imperfect for me to be there this time, but man, I'm going. I know Charles will give you a panel again. And I'm in, and I didn't get Jury's freaking trading card. I tried to find him everywhere, but I was double booked for his shows.
Weasel, like there's just weasels everywhere. I'm like, how do you miss his beard face?
I run into the people that I'm not looking for, like over and over and over. But I tried to find Bill Duran, and I tried to find Jury. I can't find him anywhere. I'm like, shoot,
The weird thing about and I do genuinely feel like I somewhat replaced Schwood because after like a night attack, Brian and Justin will go off and talk and enjoy their night together. He didn't have Brian this time, so instead I served as surrogate Brian as he was like, come to the bar with me, come to the bar. All right, let's talk about the news. What's going on in the news right now? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you want us to talk about right now.
Okay, so Schwood owes Steven and I a thing of donuts.
Oh gosh.
So since you're
9 years later.
I never forget things,
9
Brian. Do you
years.
listen to me? Never. So since you're new Brian, I require a box of donuts.
Absolutely. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. I don't know if this has been told on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Why does he owe you donuts?
So Brian agreed to come on the show like 15 times. Like, just like, oh, yeah. And then every time it would come up on it, like something would happen or he would just like fizzle out. Jury didn't. Jury was fantastic. Jury's like, yes, I'm going to do it. And then he did it because, standards. And I told him, he's like, dude, I owe you donuts. I owe you donuts. I promise. Like, you get your donuts and I'll do your show. And then guess what's not happened?
I can't say a funny. So Brian, for his for scam stuff, he'll release puzzle boxes, and inside it you get a coin, and if you show the coin to him, he'll buy you a drink.
Oh.
First time I met Brian, I had 2 of them, and it was at Disney World. But it was in Magic Kingdom where they don't sell alcohol. So instead, I forced him to buy me the world's largest bag of jelly beans.
Gross.
I just got scam beans from Brian.
Scam beans. Dude, I
feel
love
like that needs to be a thing.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Scotty, man, thank you for jumping on here and talking to us and being a part of this
And breaking the law.
the
I
shenanigans.
broke
that-
so many, like getting here, I broke so many. I sped on the way, like I was on the street that leads into my street. I didn't care. I undid my seat belt and just like barrel rolled out of my car. I wanted to make sure I was here.
I'm gonna get it. So okay, so McFly, who is our wonderful producer, is hounding me to ask the right questions because I'm bad at it. What was your favorite part of Dragon Con?
Meeting me. Boom.
Well, yes. But my favorite part, it's kind of my favorite part every single year. I didn't get to enjoy it as much because of how crowded it was this year, but I always love going to the vendor hall and just looking at all the weird stuff that they've produced. Like last year, I was on a quest to buy a sword. I don't know why. I just wanted a sword very
Oh my
badly, but I only had
God.
like $30. And they're like, "Yeah, we'll get you one."
You have
So
to
you
go in-
have a sword now?
I had a sword. Like I had a sword before last Dragon Con.
I'm so nervous about you owning a sword and having a small child in your house.
No. The sword's in the office. It's nowhere near the baby. It's fine. It's in the recording studio.
I feel like that is so like on CNN. His last words were, "It's nowhere near the baby. It's fine." Mysteriously.
That's amazing. And
Yeah,
horrible.
if I had to pick this year, because Vendor Hall was good, but the line was literally 10 blocks long. And with
Mm-mm.
Chewbacca, that was real good. I met the McElroys. I partied with Chewbacca. I got to do a podcast with one of the people who inspired me to start podcasting. It was buck wild and it was amazing. And I got to meet you guys.
Buck-wild.
I'm so
Nice.
glad we got to meet you too, man.
Yeah, you were like this little ray of like glittery sunshine that always made me super happy every time I saw you.
God, so I had to miss you guys' show, and that was the worst part for me, was missing Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. But it was to do something good because there's another podcast called Radish, and their little baby podcast
Aw.
fought hard to get them a live show this year. And Charles said, "Yeah, but you're gonna be on it because I'm not gonna let just 3 idiots do it." And I said, "Oh, okay."
Oh no, I was told you walked in at the end of the show, and I knew that I was like, we got Scotty's support. He's down, and even if you weren't there, that was totally cool because at Dragon Con, everybody's got something, man.
Yeah, there's
Like,
stuff going on.
Everybody's got a
constantly.
thing. There's no offense taken by anyone who isn't at anybody else's show. It's just an assumption, like, oh, they had a thing. You know, nobody's like, I will actively avoid that
Either
particular
that or
panel.
like, you're doing backflips out of the bathroom stalls.
This is amazing. Oh, it's the
With
best.
me at end of the world party, when I was like, "Oh, they're not there," and I was like, "Oh, well, there's a baby, and also Riddick is just chugging whiskey, so I don't know if this is their scene, but okay."
I was so bummed that we were gonna miss that. I'm just like, okay, we could, because Sam was asleep by that point. But
Yeah.
then Horace Holloway came up, and like we had been trying to connect with him and trying to connect with him. So we ended up sitting and talking to him because we haven't seen him in like 2 years.
5 years. We haven't.
5 years.
We talked
because
to him
we
on
didn't
a
see him
podcast.
last year. He wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
He was one of your
Yeah.
like first guests on Creator Crush, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Wasn't
he was
around
like
there?
Yeah.
the 6th or 7th. Yeah, and
I know my
he's
stuff.
like you and
You
him have the
do.
same vibe.
oh yeah, it's
Okay.
rock star all the way.
Yes.
You know, it's
Well,
I bring crazy stories to the table.
Yes.
Well, if you guys, I did release the video of the end of the world party on YouTube today, so you guys can check it out. The
Okay, yay.
audience sang DuckTales at one point. It was amazing. You need to check it out.
Oh my gosh, I
Where
feel
can
like
we find you?
yes. Tell everybody.
You can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo, ScottyMo, and go to a loadofpurebs.com and you can find all the different podcasts I do over there. And yeah, you can find everything from those two links.
That's amazing. Well, yeah, everybody go check out Scotty's stuff because he's
Well, also buy my
great.
books. I have books.
You have
You have
books.
books.
Yeah, dude. I've got a trilogy I wrote based on a D&D campaign. It's really dumb. Nickelback become anti-heroes. It's great. and then the other book I wrote was it's a spin-off of A Load of BS the podcast, and it's about me and Blake. But imagine if we were in Supernatural, but instead of fighting demons, we had to fight Greek gods.
I'm buying all your books, and do I have
Need Nickelback. I'm in.
do I have an opportunity for you? Because we do an anthology for charity, and we're looking for stories, and I will hook you up with that info because you need to
Actually,
submit
I
one.
submitted one, and then
Oh.
and yeah, I submitted one, and then I got critiqued on it, and I just can't handle critique well, so I'm like, it must be garbage. I'm out.
Hey, well, we got another one coming up if you want to take another stab.
They all come back completely red. Like,
Oh yeah.
That's
I
just-
just submit the same story again to the second anthology.
Kelly will kill you.
Yes.
She will disembowel you and hang you with your own guts.
That's true. But man, hey, we appreciate you coming on again, and we look forward to yet another stories with Scotty in a handful of episodes when we do another call-in show, sir.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you.
Love
You're
your face.
awesome.
Bye.
So I see Rock got a podcasting in the call waiting room. So I'm guessing he wants to come back. I'm throwing that out there that he does. But we're gonna do a small town news, or we're never gonna go to bed.
Okay.
So we gotta do a small town news. And Rock God, I think you're in as GS2TU Media now. If you do want to come in, just yell. All right, here we go. Oh, and balancing all this audio is just painful.
Sorry.
It
Am
hurts.
I too loud?
No, it's not you. It's just
Would it-
because
would
I've
it
got
be
you
better
in Discord.
I
coming-
spoke in an ASMR voice.
Yes, please. Please sound like somebody's phone from 5 years from now. Are you sure you want directions to the red phone booth?
Would you like Chewbacca to carry you to your room now?
Do you truly want to buy a 50-gallon drum of KY jelly?
Why do you have a sword in your house when you have a small little child next door?
Did Vin Diesel steal your moonshine?
Why DuckTales, though? I don't remember the lyrics.
Oh,
Very-
something hurricane here in Duck.
Florida man park smart car in kitchen so it won't blow away. The fact that you can fit your bleepity bleep car in your kitchen says so many things.
No, yeah, it's smart cars, they will get blown away in the wind. Like I think if a big enough truck drives past them, they just go off the side of a bridge.
I've been in four-wheelers bigger than smart cars. I
got-
drove a four-wheeler off a mountain that was bigger than a smart car. It started as a light-hearted challenge between a Florida couple. Can a smart car fit in their kitchen? Kitchen.
Yes, I'm gonna show the picture. Don't worry, I'm working on it now. Big fly.
The answer is yes, it can. Why can't I just read like a normal person? Patrick Elrich parked his smart car in his kitchen to protect it from Hurricane Dorian because he didn't want it to, quote, blow away, and to prove that he can park his car there. Why are men like they are? Oh, that was oh my God, multi-face.
That's fine.
Multi-Steven face.
I broke it. We're good now. I fixed it. Everything's fine.
Multi-Steven. Jessica Eldridge said her car was already parked in the garage because, I mean, maybe it was a one-car garage. To avoid cleaning their garage out, her husband proposed to park it in the house. Holy crap. Like, how would you get it in? I guess it tells in the story
That's
if I
what
would
she
read
said. I did it. That's
you,
what
you
she
just
said.
gotta, like butt sex, you just gotta fold the mirrors back and
Wait, what? You fold the
I'm tired,
mirrors
Steven.
back.
Tired.
We've been online too long.
I said, oh my God. So now I'm going to read this like a butt sex thing. I said, there's no way he could. He said he could. So he opened the double doors and he had it in. I was amazed that it could fit. He had it in with no problems.
Now no one is thinking about smart cars.
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
I don't, okay, blah, 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 hurricane, blah, blah. I'm hoping he will pull it out pretty soon once the wind dies down. There is room, and it's not in the way, but my dogs are confused by it.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna throw up.
So that story was about cars inside. But now the phrasing is wrong.
Oh, that was the best thing. I did not curse 15 times.
Alluding to butt sex is not a curse, McFly.
Jacob, you gave me the story, and I know what you want, but you ain't gonna get it.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Okay, here we go. Let's do some news better left than told, since that turned into it. Good gracious. So this is a leftover story from last week that we didn't do because there were children in the room.
That was fun.
And I saw the PORN word. He bounced from call waiting, so it's fine, McFly. Unless he wants to, if he pops back in, I'll drag him in. His dog ordered porn. He got stuck with the bill.
Lol.
Last month, Thomas Barnes found himself stuck with a $70 bill from DirecTV after he said his Bichon Frise dog, Marino, jumped on his bed and stepped on the remote control, accidentally ordering the Hustler channel by pay-per-view. When the smut popped up on the screen, they say smut because he's a mutt dog, and it's like porn for dogs is smut.
I don't know.
What is
But
smut?
I like it now. Smut is like porn.
But it used to just be
dirtier.
Smut used to just be like dirt, right? And then it became porn when porn became porn.
I've always thought of smut as like a very Christian way of being pejorative about something that they didn't like.
Thou shalt not smut. Smut is a verb. I have family that lives in a town called Smut Eye.
Smut, is that a fish?
Mutton is mullets are fish. Smut porn.
Hey, remember when we were playing that game with my dad and he was drawing a mullet, but he was drawing the fish,
yes,
and nobody could get it?
Yes, I remember that.
That was a fun game.
Because he was my teammate, and I was like, fish? What are you talking about? Let's see. Okay, where are we going? But Hustler stayed activated, so he called again. Same promises. Then again, still no satisfaction. So Barnes, who is 58 and lives on Social Security disability, said he subtracted the $7 from his bill and paid the rest. This got his service cut off. That $70 you're taking.
So frustrating.
I know, geez. That $70 you're taking food out of my mouth, he said Friday. It's like you're stealing it. They refused to see how that was pertinent. Next, Barnes filed a complaint with the FCC explaining the porn, and the payment.
Lol.
That's the next novel by
Scotty.
Arthur Conan Doyle. Yes. Could Scotty please, just take a
Paul, the porn, and the payment.
Take that title and run with it. Soon after, he said he got a call from the DirecTV brass. They agreed to put a credit on his next bill, but Barnes still feels wronged. There's a problem when there's a mistake and you expect me to pay for my mistake, he said. DirecTV did not respond Friday to emails seeking comment, but Marino's errant button pushing is not without precedent. Pet-related ordering gaffes sometimes happen.
Okay, so I know this is lighthearted, but Jacob and I were talking about this the other day. It's just so frustrating that, corporations, because they're people, can get away with shit. Because, I mean, it's stealing. Like, you literally cut off a service that someone had been paying for because You know what? Like,
Yeah.
it's like when you go through, they blame you through the drive-through. When you go through the drive-through and like you don't get what you ordered, like that's stealing because you paid for something for a service that you did not receive. You can go back and fix it, but I feel like the impetus should be on the one that screwed you to fix the issue and not the other way around.
They should be the ones that go and fix the problem.
Right. You've caused the inconvenience. You've involved yourself in theft, but it's on the person that got screwed. I mean, it doesn't even fall under buyer beware. It's just bullshit.
This is DirecTV, though. I mean, they have their entire business is keeping you paying for hundreds of dollars of television as long
Right.
as possible. Like they
Even after somebody, like I've heard the phone calls where somebody's father died, and he's like, "This is the sixth call I've made. They won't cancel the service." And he took to recording it, right? Like it's just insane to me. I'm like, you're literally scamming and stealing from somebody, but because corporations are people and they're more protected than people because they have billions of dollars to pay lawyers with. It's just so frustrating. I'm like, our legal system needs a kick in the ass.
we're under the thumb of the
Sorry.
system. No, you're 100% right. People need to be able to we should be able to cancel our television when we please. Like you should-
Right?
and you shouldn't have to call. You should be able to go online. Like anytime I get a service and I have to cancel it, I get so upset because I go on their website and I'm like, how to cancel?
It's hidden.
And it's always you got to just like it's not in the frequently asked questions, even though we all know it's a frequently asked
Yeah.
question. How do I cancel? So then it's like contact us, and all their contacts are like emails and phone numbers for a number you can call so you can get lost. Like if there's a service and it has a I'd like to cancel and it's just a checkbox and like an I agree, submit, it's the best. Like
Yeah,
they should
that would.
they did that for spam. Like if you get spam mail or you get mail newsletters from anybody, it has an unsubscribe button, and that unsubscribe button has to work.
It doesn't. So somehow I got subscribed to one of my emails to allure.com and I
Oh.
unsubscribed multiple times. They're like, well, it could take up to 6 weeks. I'm like, okay. So I waited 6 months and was still getting it and like kept unsubscribing every month. So finally I'm just like, F you people. Like F you. Like I don't give a shit about girly magazines. No, I don't want it in my email. I don't want to, like, it doesn't need to take up my mental bandwidth. Go die in all the fires. Like, stop calling me. Stop sending me shit.
We still get your Ross Simmons magazine at least every 2 weeks. Like it comes to our
I ordered
mailbox,
earrings from them once.
and I'm like, oh, look, it's Ashley's Ross Simmons, and I throw it in the
I
trash.
think I have this one. I think this one's one of the Ross.
I hope you don't want them because I haven't been keeping them. I go, Ashley is probably getting this somewhere else too.
No, you could go magazines unless they are incredibly like okay, so Southern Lady, sure. Like most like it's a pretty like Instagram story on paper for old women that don't have Instagram.
We get Southern Lady magazine.
I enjoy Southern Lady. But like the other magazines, you don't need them because you can just go online.
That's right. There's no point.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done with
Are
my
you done? Are you done with your
I'm
thing?
done,
Because
yeah.
this next one's gonna be good. Let's do WTF section. WTF.
Okay.
By the way,
this
I
sounds
don't
good.
know if my microphone has been shoddy for like the past entire show, but I can hear myself now, and I couldn't before. It was like talking through muffles. So hopefully,
you can hear yourself the entire time?
No. So the waves were real small in Audacity. I'm like, why are they messed up? So I like poked at the gain a little bit and it went, and then I could hear myself all of a sudden. So I'm like, this probably sounds like poop. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of editing on this episode. It might come out tomorrow because of that.
I can't. I didn't hear any difference.
Because I was all like, I go live to tape while I'm talking to everybody, and now I'm like, shoot, gotta go straighten up some of these things.
It's because we bragged about it. We're like, editing, schmediting.
Editing, who needs that? People who podcast perfectly in the first place don't have to
Right.
do that.
What is dead air? We don't have that.
It's a trick I learned from Scott Johnson. Like watching the morning stream, they basically just go from beginning to end and just wrap it in a nice little bow and throw it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, just so we know, let's get back to the news.
Sending unsolicited dick pics is now illegal in Texas and can result in a $500 fine. Freaking here.
Yes.
Good job, Texas.
I believe in
It's weird that
this.
it's coming from you, but good job. That the second line just repeats the title.
I know,
But in,
but it's okay.
I needed to get my words
I needed a
in.
headline, so I used the first sentence from my story.
The state has introduced a new law that means sending someone a nude lewd to which they didn't consent, whether on a dating app, messenger, or even airdrop, is now illegal. There's a furry microphone. As of Saturday, electronic transmissions of sexually explicit images or video is considered a Class C misdemeanor, resulting in a fine of up to $500. The law has come into play following campaign by female-focused dating app Bumble. There's this like bug thing, and I think it's real, whose headquarters are in Austin, Texas, in collaboration with state rep Morgan Meyer of Dallas. Meyer said they had a number of people who were using the app complaining about the sending of these images, and they quickly realized there was no recourse. It isn't. It sucks. Like, you just open it up and you're just like, great. There's a wiener. And like, it's just the wieners all look very similar.
They do.
You
They're
know,
all the
so
same.
it's just like, but yeah, it's just like, you just don't want to see wieners, you know? Sometimes it's just like, you know, your own wiener that you're attached to, if you're into wieners, is great. But if you don't want to see a wiener, you don't want to see a wiener.
I don't want to see my own wiener. I was talking to a dude who will remain unnamed while I was sitting around at Dragon Con, and he was like, dudes who send wiener pics are doing the wrong thing. Like, no one wants to see your wiener. You know, and he's right. No one does, particularly an unsolicited one. I saw a picture on somebody's Facebook page, and it was a picture of like sexy pics that men should take. And it was a guy like walking the dog, taking a selfie, and then it's like doing the dishes, taking a selfie, mopping the floor, taking a selfie. I'm like,
mowing the grass.
Yes, that is much better. Much better.
I was gonna say, if you're on a dating app, more likely than not, what's gonna get you sexering is a picture of your checking account. I'm being an asshole, but try it.
I have the money.
Let's see how many wiener pics versus how many bank account pics get you the sexes. I'd put money on that. There was nothing that could be done. It wasn't a criminal offense, although it was definitely digital sexual harassment. DSH. Bumble CEO Whitney Wolf Heard. That's
Whitney
her
Wolf
whole
Heard
name.
what?
Yeah, I know.
Or is she a wolf herd?
I would have just stopped at Whitney Wolf.
Dick
that's
Wolf
real
Productions.
Shout out to Uncle George.
Shout out Uncle George.
Yay. Whitney Wolf. Originally, it's so bad because we're talking about dick pics.
I know.
Whoops. I'd been hearing about this issue for years from girlfriends and coworkers who would walk through public places and get lewd photos airdropped into their phones. Okay, so I don't have my airdrop turned on to anybody but my contacts.
No, you should never do that. You should never have a wide open airdrop. That's stupid.
Yeah. That's not like an excuse for somebody to do it. No. Also, like, holy shit, so there's just dudes sitting out there going, wiener for you, and a wiener for you, and a wiener for you. One of these will hit.
It might not even be their wiener. It could be anybody's. I can get you a wiener picture right now if you want one. It doesn't have to be mine.
Here's a giraffe dick. You're welcome.
What is that? Oh, that belongs to a giraffe.
Now I'm really curious.
What a giraffe wiener looks like. Have you ever seen a horse wiener? Jeez. They're like 9 feet long.
That's how I learned about sex, was for horse wieners.
Horses.
I watched them stud the horses.
Yeah, they do that. Sometimes a horse is out there just chilling. You're like, wow, he's got 5 legs. Oh,
yeah,
never mind.
Got an extra.
Never mind.
Retired.
He doesn't.
Oh, this is so bad. A close family friend who was just a teenager when she got her first unsolicited photo from a boy her age. That's so true.
Oh, that's awful.
Like, it's constant. It's constant for like 13, 10, 12-year-olds. It's crazy.
It's wrong, man. You should be ashamed.
78% of millennial women have received an unwanted dick pic. I hated that there was no real accountability and that this digital world we spend all our time in is basically society with no rules.
Anarchy.
Wolf explained that Bumble started working with lobbyists and state reps in Texas to make a change, and that change has now come into action. I dig that.
Yeah, sorry, Zafo. I know you live in Texas and you're having a really great time swinging around, doing slinging wieners everywhere, but you're done now.
Slinging wieners.
Slinging wieners is a show title right there. Slinging wieners. Man, has this been a roller coaster of an episode? I am wiped out. That was like Dragon Con revisited, but like super fun.
Literally.
Yeah, we did revisit Dragon Con pretty much. That was great, but I hope everybody's enjoyed it. I hope everybody got something out of it. I hope you decide to go listen to some of these fine folks that we got to talk to, because they all put out incredible content, and I know you've got time. Like, we all know you're commuting somewhere, you're mowing a lawn, or you're folding laundry. Why
in
not?
the shower.
Or in the
Like, shower podcasting is the best podcasting.
Like, you got those little shower curtains with the pockets now. Just throw your phone in there and be like, hey, listen to this podcast. It's good stuff. We've just had a really great time with all these people. I know I've added some to my list, and you should too. We don't have an email this week, but if you've got some stuff you want to send us to let us know how much you hate everything we're doing or how much you love it, go to hnhshow@gmail.com. We would appreciate that. You can also join our Discord, where you can join the conversation and be a part of the Legion of Dorks, the crew of folks that make this thing worth doing. That's at twodorks.net/discord. Which will take you straight there. And you can follow us on Twitter. I'm Steve H&H. Ashley is Faith Kills, P-H-A-T-E Kills. You'll also find her on Instagram as Ash H&H. I think you're Ash H&H on Instagram.
Yeah, I need to make that cohesive, but I'm me.
Yeah, I'm Steve H&H everywhere. If there's a service, that's probably what my name is on it. So PlayStations and Switches and Xboxes and everywhere. If you want to help us out, tips are always nice. If we entertain you for 4 hours out of your month, you can throw us $1. That would be cool. You can do that one time, twodorks.net/tip, or through Patreon at patreon.net/twodorks, where we are happy to receive your money and use it to our satisfaction. What else we got going on? Anything we need to talk about? I feel like there was something, but there might not be. Nope.
Did it involve sleep?
Nah, but I'm about to go do that because homeboy is tired. We're going to leave you guys with these words of wisdom, carry you through the rest of your week until we see you again. Monday, Dungeons & Dragons. That's what it is.
Yeah, there
Monday,
we go.
This upcoming Monday, we're doing Dungeons & Dorks again. We're going to continue where we left off, so I'm excited about that. That's what it is. So tune into this channel then when we kick back off with Dungeons & Dorks. It is the destiny of Mint to be crushed. Waverly Lewis Root. Thank you, Waverly Lewis Root, for whatever that's supposed to mean for us.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll figure out what it means tomorrow when I wake up. You guys are the best. We'll see you next time on Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. I kind of want to make that more of a sound, you know?
What the hell are you doing? Oh, show titles. Titties. I can't see it. I have to say it every time I see it. It's like a mental take.
It really does.
Oh no! I wanted demanding urine, but I accidentally clicked on fix your junk. No, I didn't.
Rock garlic of podcasting. Everybody snores. 2 queens slept here. That's pretty great.
Stop licking 4 inches of fluff.
There's a vote for every one of these. One the deal. Stop licking stuff's pretty good. Con crud is actually kind of pertinent.
I know, right?
That's kind of what this show was. It felt like we've scraped off the con crud in terms of all the good stuff. So it's kind of backwards. Anyway, it makes sense if I say it. The paw, the porn, and the pavement is pretty great.
I really like
that. Was in that story. I feel like we'd be stealing a pretty great thing. Live your best Great Gatsby life.
Lol.
God bless Sean. Smut orders porn.
Small.
Let's do con crud. I think that's a really concise, fun way of wrapping up this show.
I still like demanding urine, but okay.
We can't all win, Smash.
Demanding urine is demanding.
Clearly. All right. We're gonna try to do this. Oh,
I guess Concrete has the most votes anyway.
I like it. I think it's gonna work. Oh, what do hold on. I gotta write this. Horseshoes and hand grenades, episode 480. For
And-
what day is it? September 5th?
Sure, yes.
Con crud. All right, here we go. Tonight on the show, we do a Dragon Con. Oh, son of a butt.
Can that just be the intro?
There's got to be a way to fix the problems that I've introduced here.
Can that just be it?
No, it can't be it. Okay, here we go. Tonight on the show, we do a Dragon Con recap. We talk to such fine folks as the rock god of podcasting, Charles McFall, Bill from Run Jump Stomp, Lisa from I Love That Movie, Scott Moore, audio tech master of all things, and Scotty Moore, the LSD unicorn that we all love so very much. We had a great time talking to these people, and we also get to some odd news stories. So just hang in there. Enjoy the ride. It's going to be nice. You're going to like it. And give me your money. I'm kidding. Love you guys. Here's Horseshoes and Hand Grenades, episode 480 for September 5th, 2019. Con Crud. Did you like where I went? Con Crud.
I did. That was beautiful.
You liked
I
it?
feel like you should have echoed it.
Con Crud.
I want to. Did it echo?
So here's the truth. You and I both know there's no way I'm editing this show.
I know. just put it out
It's
there.
just not going to happen.
Just fix the levels and put it out there.
I'm going to run it through the levelator in vain hope that it works. And then I'm going to put it out there. The levelator is a pretty great little system. It's a program. You drop an audio file onto it. It's supposed to make everything right and in the same level and then send it. So we're going to run it through the
mainly for
levelator.
me.
We're going to run it through the levelator and hope for the best. Because, I mean, I know I'm a professional, but every professional's got their own way of doing things.
We're tired, man.
And this is mine. Did you like the new overlay? You think it's fun?
I do. I think it's cute.
I think it
I
looks
don't
pretty
remember
cool.
what the old one looked like because it's been like,
Multiple weeks?
yeah.
Maybe no one does. Maybe that's our secret.
I
No
don't-
one knows.
Because I remember there was the thing, and I don't remember.
I think it's pretty fun. I'm looking forward to playing it when we do the gaming thing. I have a
I just
green
know
one,
your
too.
shirt matches.
It does. Well, there's a green one and a purple one too. That is the same color. scheme.
Purple and green.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe we use another one for something. I don't know. They're fun. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out and being a part of this. And we'll see you next week for a more standard fare.
Well, tomorrow too.
We're gonna see him tomorrow.
Are we doing something with? We're doing like a riding sprint with Kelly.
Oh, shoot! Forgot about the riding sprint. Sure, we'll do that. That'll be fun. I'll be really on top of things.
We're going to bed.
Bye, everybody. You're
Bye.
amazing.